down a Ukrainian passenger plane that crashed near Tehran on Wednesday. All 176 people on board were killed. Nearly 60 victims were Canadian citizens, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he expects full cooperation from the Iranian authorities. On Twitter, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has offered his condolences, which Preston reports.
Iran had previously rejected claims it shot down Ukraine International Airlines flight PS752 on Wednesday. Western leaders said the plane had been hit by a missile, claims Iran repeatedly denied. Now, Iran says it was behind the crash and blamed human error. Iran's Foreign Minister Javad Zarif posted his message of condolence to the victims on Twitter. A sad day, he said, offering Iran's profound regrets, apologies and condolences to our people, to the families of all victims and to other affected nations. The crash came amid high tensions with the US and days after threats of strikes against Iranian targets following the killing in Iraq of Iran's top military commander. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani said the human error came at a time of crisis caused by US adventurism. Posting on Twitter, he said an investigation had concluded that regrettably missiles were fired and that investigations will continue to identify and prosecute those behind this great tragedy and unforgivable mistake. The plane was hit just after taking off from Tehran airport. All 176 people on board were killed. For days, Iran denied any involvement in the crash.
An aviation authority cannot speculate. We have to be certain of the things we say. The causes we aren't sure of yet, but as I said, that which we can say for certain is that a missile did not strike the plane. But the fire and its causes we need to uncover still.
Many of those on board were Canadian. In a press conference, Canada's foreign minister vowed to get answers as to what had happened. Whilst this admission of responsibility will provide some relief for the victims' families, it's unlikely it'll ease the political tension between Iran and the West. Rich Preston, BBC News.
Let's get more on this. Our correspondent Quentin Somerville is in Baghdad. Quentin, welcome to you. Had Iran got to the point where they simply couldn't deny responsibility anymore?
Exactly. 3 days of vociferous denials. The Iranian ambassador in the UK yesterday saying it was disinformation to claim that this aircraft had been shot down by Iran. But then today, a 180-degree turnaround, Iran finally admitting it was responsible for this disaster, an unforgivable disaster, says President Rouhani. The evidence was building against Iran that it was responsible for this, and really it had very little choice but to come clean. There was that video which was published. Someone had taken some video from the ground which appeared to show a missile striking the plane. That was then followed up by US intelligence and other intelligence information saying that there were 2 pings from radar spotting that there were missile launches in the area. So this admission of guilt will answer some of the questions of the families of the many people who were on board and killed on the Ukrainian Airways flight, but it doesn't really help the ongoing crisis here in the region. The balance, if you like, between the rivalry that Iran and the United States have here in this region has been terribly upset by the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, Iran's leading general. We saw Iran and the US trading insults, trading missiles, in fact. But those fundamental issues, those fundamental differences that these two regional powers share, those haven't been addressed in any serious way yet.
Quentin, we're hearing via the Reuters news agency that Iran's Revolutionary Guard to offer an explanation and an apology. Victims were Canadian, has insisted they expect full cooperation with the Iranian authorities on their investigation. Do you think they'll get it?